Welcome to World Warships Legends. Right here is the Karl von Schellenberg, and it is, well, it's pretty much my favorite German destroyer at tier 7, and, well, it's gonna show two things. One, it's consistent, and two, really it's really good at taking advantage of your opponent. And this is really going to show some destroyer gameplay. And boy, oh boy, does it show the red team's lack of self-awareness. I mean, by self-awareness, I mean, you could call it what you want. Situational awareness or self-awareness, wherever. They don't look around to make sure there's no torpedoes going towards them. I don't know. There's a lack of red team to even show. I mean, I don't know. This is not even scripted. This is completely unscripted. And, well, this is it. I have to consider this peak level of the peak level on destroyer gameplay. Because this is what destroyers use primarily. Yeah, sure, you have main guns, but your primary weapons is, your main focus is on the torpedoes, and not just because you're a gunboat, but it's because that's what that's basically what a destroyer has. That's why destroyers are called tin cans for. They carry pretty much the torpedoes to a fight. And, well, it just lives up to the name. It lives up to the name. And right here is basically something to behold on what the red team is not aware of. First, well, I think it's kind of obvious. They don't want anything to do with being contested, so they just gave up. That's my best. That's just my best theory of things going, but you can leave it down in the comments. But anyways, let's get back to the video. And I'm basically looking at, okay, what are my options? And here's my option to launch a strike. Not airstrike, but a little friends, little sea mines that are consistent. And yeah, and just basically solo cap and then use guns without. I could use the guns. If you play like this, then you could get away with it because you have torpedoes in the water. He's unaware, which is going to lead him to get flooded. And at least a torpedo hit and a flood. And just focus on him even though you, and make sure he's finished off. But anyways, here's the second part. The Iowa. Now, you may be thinking, now, the Iowa, he's gonna set a trap. Well, apparently, the Iowa is unaware that I even exist. So therefore, that's what you want to play to. If your opponent is in an Iowa, in this case, mine's in a... Oh, technically, mine will be in an Iowa, and he will be unaware of my existence. So you want to play to your destroyer's strengths and have no fear of the aircraft carrier. And just do the old torpedo launch and kind of, yeah, that was a little thrown off, but he's not moving, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's not gonna end, that won't end well. This is what you want to do. This is what I say, like I say, just let your opponent get dulled down to the fact, and they'll be easy. And the fact that it's the aircraft carrier, I don't know the name, but it was a Azur-Lane boat, but I don't fear it because of the skip bombers. I don't have any fear because I'm not in... There's no way he could use the skip bombs on me because, well, one, this is the worst aircraft carrier imaginable. I'd rather play the Ark Royal than this. And, well, yeah. This is... I've basically... If you do this, you'll basically have them cut off from anything. Just do little circles around him and just take his health away. And shortly after that, just finish him. And there he is. You've taken out two big threats. You will have taken out, if you do my way, let your opponent, you know, be clumsy and trip on themselves. That's the good stuff. But the bad stuff is, well, worst case scenario is they're intelligent and they're, well, they know how to counter destroyers. But yeah, I mean, with this type of video, as an example, it's pretty obvious that it's meant to be that you want to play to your opponent's weakness. You want to play to your opponent's weakness and just do what they don't expect you to do. And then this is what stuff is made of. This is what victories are made of. Play to your strength and let your opponent be, well, kind of dumbed down. I'm not calling anyone dumb, but oh boy, they really fell fast. Just let your opponent trip on themselves. But anyways, stay tuned for more World Warship Legends and World of Tanks console. Stay tuned for more. Peace.